Hello, I'm Jacob. I'm the host of the show. Thank you for watching, commenting, and subscribing, and just being part of what we do here. Now, through week 5, we've seen a lot of teams that we would not expect to be very good starting to really pick up their speed a little bit. We're seeing the Cowboys do it. No one saw the Cubs going 5-0, and that's where we are. And that's a little bit of a ridiculous point, but it leads us into the news of the NFL. It continues. No one knows exactly what's going to happen. So, to begin, the New England Patriots signed Jameis Collins after the Detroit Lions had cut him last week. And he did play a little bit against the Texans, but not very much. And because he's not used to this new system, and he has to start from scratch again. Now, some of the verbiage may be eerily similar, but he doesn't know what's really going on. Wait till next week and possibly even the week after, and he'll be probably a starter for this New England Patriots offense, for this New England Patriots defense. The Bears named Justin Fields the starter for the remainder of the year, and we knew this was going to happen. Eventually. We didn't know when, we didn't know where, but we knew it was going to happen. It was the game after Detroit that they said he's the starter, Andy Dalton's the backup, enough said. Which we all figured around Detroit area, Justin Fields takes over. That's what they did. And the offense just kind of works better with him in the lineup because they're not having to do all these things. They are allowing him to play free, which they did not do when Andy Dalton got hurt in the first start for Justin Fields, where he didn't do very well at all. He struggled. He got sacked 9 times. Now he's starting to get his legs to understand, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do it all faster than what I did before. The Pats had put defensive end Henry Anderson, who was I believe the 3rd defensive end, suffered a torn pec. He is out for the season. These injuries, you always see injuries that are a little more rare sometimes, that they just pop up throughout the season. And then there's some that you're like, oh, okay, well, those injuries have been more common. The pec injury this year has not been one of those. They're not very common. They were common a few years ago, but not relative to this year. So you always feel bad when a player ends up having to be done for the year, because you think this guy could have been a difference maker. It could have came down to one play. If he's on the field, he probably makes that play. Who knows? But at that point, you just hope that, New England lives by this motto, next man up. You really got to believe in that motto with them losing all kinds of talent. Bears running back Darren Williams suffered a thigh bruise, but he was fine. He should be okay. But their starting running back, David Montgomery, to miss few weeks with a knee issue. Now, he had a knee issue actually last year when they played the Packers, and I believe week 17, he had a knee issue. He came back into the game, played very well. The Bears should not be that concerned, but you gotta find a way to move the ball. Continue to move the ball. The Cowboys signed a cornerback, Isaiah Johnson, and the Saints agreed to terms with free agent kicker Cody Parkey. Now, let me explain these two. The Cowboys are doing this purely for depth. Purely for depth. They know he's a project, so this is a purely for a depth position. That's all this is. Not because they feel he's better than anyone else. No. Just a depth position. He does have some starter experience, but it's only for a depth position. For the Saints, Rosas has not played as well as they thought he would, bringing in Cody Parkey, who did play a lot better when he was in Cleveland than when he was in Chicago. The question is, will he be good in a dome stadium? If you remember, Cody Parkey does have some experience with playing in dome stadiums, so he should be okay. After the Cowboys couldn't find a trade partner who would be interested in Jaylon Smith, they decided to release Jaylon Smith. In a bit of a shocking move. But if you really listen to what the Cowboys are saying here, they believe in these young guys. They believe in Parsons. They believe in Jabril Cox. They believe in Keanu Neal. They believe in these guys that they will do well. I think, and this happened, and I thought this makes the most sense, I feel like the Cowboys were bound to making that move of either releasing Jaylon Smith or releasing Leighton Vander Esch. And the Cowboys must have felt like Leighton Vander Esch either gave him something more that Jaylon doesn't, or played better than Jaylon did through the first month of the year. We will get more into the Jaylon Smith story in another video, but I think it was reasonable. He hasn't played well in new schemes. He struggled last year. It's just kind of time to move on. As he said, as Jaylon Smith said, the writing was on the wall. Another surprising move, the New England Patriots decided to trade Stefon Gilmore to the Carolina Panthers for a 6th-round pick. Now, it was announced that when the Cowboys released Jaylon Smith, that they could not find a trade partner. That was the reason why they decided to release him. Stefon Gilmore, it was announced that they were releasing him, but it would only be official by 4 o'clock, which didn't make any sense to me because the news came out at 8 o'clock. So there's about a 6-hour time frame, 6 to 10 hour time frame that goes by while we are waiting, essentially, for him to get officially released. And then he gets traded to Carolina for a 6th-round pick, which is a future 6th-round pick. So it's more like a 7th-round pick, according to Ian Rappaport. That was a shocking move. Now, granted, he can't play until week 7. Because he's still on the PUP list, because he was not released. So he gets traded for a future 6th-round pick, and goes home to Carolina.